Welcome to today's Seidokan Saturday. Now you'll notice I'm not even in the dojo yet. So this is lesson 1 in my dojo. In every karate dojo there will be a genkan, an entry place, an area where you leave your shoes because we do not wear shoes in the dojo. It's important that the shoes be removed and placed neatly out of the path of others. Particularly in my dojo I have shoe racks. Some will have the shoe rack outside or other areas, but the shoes are taken off. At the dojo entrance, feet come together, hand to the side, and we bow toward the front area. Now, a word on the bow. The bowing is done at the waist. The hands don't slide. In Japanese society, the women might bring their hands to the front and kind of lean on them this way, but the standard bow is hands to the side. We bend at the waist. There's no head up, that always look eye miyagi thing. You can see their eyes out the top of your own eyes without lifting your head. So the spine stays straight and we bend at the waist. The hands don't slide down or drop. They stay at the sides and the elbows bend along with the waist. It's easy to become very casual in the bow and make it a perfunctory, just sort of a offhanded throwaway kind of a thing. And you'll see this even in sumo wrestling at the end of a bout with a quick nod and they're out. How deeply you bow and the correctness of the bow, there are actually classes on this in Japanese for etiquette. How deeply you bow and everything depends on your relative rank. When you really want to show that something is important to you, you bow even more deeply. Okay? But at least a 60 to 45 degree bow is a good standard position to show respect, and as we enter the dojo we should be showing that this is an important place, a place of honor. Okay? You'll also notice I didn't wear my gi coming in. In my dojo I teach that when we get to the dojo we put our karate on the outside. When we leave the dojo we put our karate back on the inside and take the outside off. It's not uncommon to see little kids running around the grocery stores of America with their karate gi on. That, to me, is bad etiquette. And this whole point is etiquette, manners, showing respect, placing proper importance on things that are important. So when you arrive at the dojo, you can put on your gi. Now there may be a dressing area, a closet of some sort, or a dressing room. If not, if you've worn your karate pants, fine, and then you can just put the top and the belt on. The way of tying the belt and the specifics of the gi may vary from place to place, but I still recall the first instructional packet I got from Toma's dojo back in 95 or 96-ish, that he had a unique feature that I had only seen in one other dojo that I belonged to and one that I appreciated, and I still maintain this, which is that when you put the belt on, you're in a kneeling position. Again, it's just an added layer of showing that something is important. Now the belt, just a piece of cloth, right? $5 at Kmart, whatever, it's a piece of cloth. But it also is a symbol of something, and symbolically, it's showing importance. So if I just stand up and just kind of wrap it on like another piece of cloth, yeah, you can do that, but if you kneel in the dojo to put on your belt, it's just an added layer of displaying or mentally preparing yourself that you're in a different place with something of slightly different importance. Now there are a lot of ways of tying the belt. The way I just did it is pretty much the standard way. There are other versions and you can look tutorials online or play this back several times and watch it. But I will teach that to the kids in the dojo. After the belt is on, then we're ready to enter the dojo, begin doing whatever we're going to do here. That's the first line of etiquette or manners. Shoes are off, we bow and enter the dojo, and then put our karate on the outside to come in. From here, I just want to go over briefly how a typical class will begin and the instructions that you'll hear in most traditional or classical or Japanese Okinawan oriented dojos. Some variation of these things will be common. The instructor will call the class to line up and come to attention. Line up is seiretsu, straight line. Coming to attention is kyotsuke, bring your energy together. Feet come together, hands are at the sides. From this point, the instructor will kneel. I like to do it the formal way. Again, this goes back to sword practice and samurai arts of the past as well. Really doesn't matter, you can just drop down to your knees any old which way. But I prefer place the left knee, place the right knee, tuck the feet under, and sit back. That's proper kneeling. It teaches you to do it with good posture. From here, the senior student or the sensei will call Seiza, which is the instruction for the rest of the class to kneel along with. Seiza! At this point, the instructor will call for a period of meditation. Mokuso. Mokuso! The meditation is simply taking a moment to breathe. The breathing is done abdominally, not in the shoulders and the chest. Body is upright, head is straight up, not tucked. Don't over tuck the chin, but just straight up on the posture. Shoulders and chest relaxed. The breathing, slow, deep, and abdominal. At the end of the meditation period, mokusoyame, which means the meditation is over, then the instructor will call for a bow to the front, which is called the shomen, or he may call for a bow to the master or masters. Shomen ni, hey! Then he'll turn. If the call was a bow to the masters, it would be Shihan ni, or Toma Sensei ni, or Shihan Tachi if they're a group of masters. But some call for a bow to the front area, which is the area of respect, known as the Joza or Joseki, which is the high seat, okay, the shomen, the front area. Once the instructor turns, senior student or the instructor will call for a bow from the students. Sensei ni, hey, bowing to the instructor. Now you'll notice that I place left hand first, then the right hand. They sort of form a triangle, and we bend at the waist. We don't rise up or fall forward. It's just a bend at the waist, and then placing the hands back up. From that point, we stand up and class would begin. That's lesson 1, the etiquette of the dojo. As far as lining up is concerned, I still stick to the old way, which is that the senior students line up to the right and to the front. It makes it easier for the junior students or the beginners or less experienced to know who to look for to set the example. There is a senpai-kohai relationship, which is those who've been here longer and those who are newer, older brother, younger brother, if you will. We don't want to have an abusive older brother, but we should have someone who can sort of show us the ropes and someone to look forward to. If the older brother, if the senpai is abusing his position and feels like he has some power, then it's sensei's job to say, chill out, help a guy out, be nice. The sensei sets the tone, okay? The instructor sets the tone for what's going to happen in the dojo. And hopefully that'll give you a good introduction, at least how to come in and begin in your martial arts journey. Next week, I'll talk a little bit specifically about the dojo-kun and why they're translated in my dojo the way they are and what they mean and how we apply them. And then we will begin the actual techniques of taking a karate class. Thanks for joining another Seidokan Saturday. Until next week, keep practicing.